All right, shifting subjects, going into part two of the episode, talking about a Classico, one of the biggest matches in the world, probably the biggest match in the world in the calendar year.
Yeah.
Hasn't
Yeah,
quite felt like that
Nah.
the past couple of years, but this year had a different,
definitely.
different
They
feeling.
added a different flavor to it.
Different flavor.
Barcelona being back again
4
to their
0
fullest.
at
4-0.
the Santiago Bernabeu to some kids. That's crazy.
Some
Masia.
kids.
Yeah. Yo, I got to shout out somebody in the comment section. Oh, talk about Vinny Jr. These Real Madrid fans, man, they're so
Yeah.
comfortable being Real Madrid fans.
Yeah.
14 Champions League, this, that. Like, there's no excitement in these games in watching Real Madrid.
Well, it's
You
probably
got
Really?
feet up on the table. Like, yeah, you win every game. It gets more interesting when they lose, you know?
right. Yeah, no, the suspense builds.
Yeah.
More when they lose. But let's talk about the game, right? Because we have potential Ballon d'Or winner, right? A future potential Ballon d'Or winner on the other team.
Wow.
We have a current World Cup winner, current World Cup two-time finalist, Mbappe. So huge names
Big.
in this game, right? And I
Big.
think the biggest name that is missing is Toni Kroos.
Wow.
Wow,
Right?
Yes.
sir.
What do you guys think of this
He left
game?
behind a big mark.
What happened? Is that the real?
Something's
key?
missing.
It's not just this game. I think it's been
Right.
for Real Madrid
yeah.
this whole season. They missed a big. The thing is, Toni Kroos, any team he's been on, like when you lose him, he's a big piece missing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not gonna be an instant replacement.
Yeah.
Never.
Do you think right now Real Madrid's struggle is more about embedding Mbappe and helping him kind of connect with that forward line who's
Yeah.
ecstatic every year,
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
ecstatic past 3-4 years? Or do you think it's more of Toni Kroos' absence?
I think it's a little bit of a
Yeah.
combination. Overall, the paradigm and how the squad itself feels, it was always going to be weird in the summer. Mbappe comes in, puts like I mean, it's really funny where it's like, oh, they're going to come. Mbappe is going to win Champions Leagues for them.
It's over.
No.
right? It's
No.
over. It's over.
Mbappe is going to win Champions Leagues with them,
With
right?
them.
He's coming
Just like
onto
every
a
other
team
player.
where Vinicius Jr. doesn't need to prove to Mbappe anything.
Right.
Vinicius Jr. is about to win a Balon d'Or Monday, right? And it's losing Toni Kroos is a part of it, and then Mbappe coming in is also a part of it, I'd say. It's like they haven't found that squad
Yeah,
harmony.
because you can argue that last season they didn't even have a striker.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Technically.
they were putting up.
They played that
numbers.
4-4-2 diamond Ancelotti really likes from
so
like
and now
his
they
Milan
have
days.
attackers.
Yeah. So now they transition into that 4-3-3.
I feel like-
it's weird for them.
I don't know if this is a good take. Maybe they're trying to kind of put that responsibility on Bellingham a little bit. You know what I
That's
mean?
like what a lot of the
That's
word
the only
was.
that's the only player I can think of that can take that responsibility. Not being a deep line playmaker, but being the number 8 of the team, because that's what Toni Kroos
Yeah,
was essentially. He was the number 8 of the team.
I don't think he has it in his locker, man. Like
Who, Bellingham?
Bellingham is more all action.
Disagree.
Tick tick tick. He doesn't have the tick
When
tick
Bellingham
tick.
first came up on the scene, he was number 8.
Yeah, but
he
like
was
a
that
box
number
to
8.
box, like a box to box, not like a controller of tempo.
No,
right?
no,
A little
no.
different.
He's definitely more like he's attack minded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You'd like him to crash the box.
A lot
Instead,
of-
Toni
and I-
Kroos
yeah.
sits deep, connects the play, links it, takes it from one side to the other. Mr. 100 touches.
He's a physical
Comfortably.
presence.
Yeah,
But
All
one thing is,
action.
I don't like how a lot of people are saying like Bellingham is one season wonder. There's a lot of people saying
I think the
his
stick,
role's changed. His role changed.
but I think that stick is justified because we've put Bellingham on a statue.
But he
So-
was playing as a false nine last season. You know.
So-
Okay.
yeah.
And I understand he's not going to be scoring goals. It's not just that, but I just think, for example, in that whole game, Ghost,
nah, he was a non-performer.
Nah, he wasn't there.
he was not good enough.
She got shown
At
levels
one
by
point
guys
in the
that
game,
haven't
you
even
told
That's
played
what I
me
was
where's
seasons, bro.
At one point in the game, you told me where's Bellingham. He's
Yeah,
hiding.
he's hiding.
He
That's
was.
that's
he was.
bad,
And
right?
he
Like,
missed a couple of opportunities. I'll say one big one with the set piece from Modric.
Oh yeah,
that
Yeah.
really annoyed me. I gave
Yeah.
him stick for that when
Yeah.
that happened. I'm like, are you serious?
it kind of just hit him. He didn't really get anything on it. It just hit him. You know?
It's
Yeah.
like the ball was coming, and I think he
wasn't
wasn't
ready
able
for
to
it.
see it. But you gotta be, again, when that ball comes, you gotta be ready. You gotta. think
Last
it's
season,
coming
he
no matter
scores
what.
it.
You scoring that?
Yeah.
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 100%.
I think he's been one of the biggest. Like you kind of touched on
And
it.
he
The
does-
biggest. He lost a lot of what
Yeah.
he had last season
Mm-hmm.
because of Mbappe coming in.
But he's not. I feel like he's not 100% fit because he got injured. He
yeah,
just got back
possibly.
from injury like
they
couple
could be
games
forcing
ago.
him because Real Madrid in general themselves they've been struggling with injuries.
Yeah,
you know?
and they don't have players that you can just replace people like
look at
Bellingham.
Carvajal.
Yeah.
Carvajal's gone and Lucas Vasquez.
Yeah.
There's such an like that team doesn't. He looks like an odd man out in that team. Same
But
thing with Mendy a little
he had a
bit.
great performance in the Champions League against Dortmund. Though.
Yeah, but
Right.
he's not never
Yeah.
replacing with Carvajal. I think
Never.
if Real Madrid need to get like somebody on loan or some happens in the January transfer window,
Yeah.
you
Right.
get a right back that comes
Do
in
you
that
think-
can
They
play.
have a
think
lot of
defense-
attacking mids.
Do you think defense is more? Sorry. Do you think defense is more important, or like midfield?
Nah, I think you need that right back replacement because Vasquez isn't going to give you what you're looking for.
I
Right,
thought,
not-
you know
yeah.
what I thought? I thought Alfonso Davies was one of their targets.
Hey, word came out that Man
Yeah.
United been talking to Alfonso Davies.
Speaking of him, he got
He's
got
insane.
cooked.
He's a Real Madrid level top.
That's one player I thought would not get cooked against Lamine Yamal, and I thought he would give him a good battle, you know. But he was turning him left and right.
Yeah,
Lamine
you're
is-
talking about that Bayern game.
Yes.
We can touch on Barcelona here in a minute.
Yeah.
The thing with Real Madrid, them going from that 4-4-2 diamond into the 4-3-3 has taken away a little bit of balance in the team.
Right.
Like those three guys all on the front line and then Bellingham behind him. It's like too much star power, too much ego.
Yeah.
And I saw this clip, I think it was in the Champions League. It was like they were losing and I forgot which last game was they played. You saw Mbappe and Vinicius both like on the left wing, like ready for a counterattack while they were defending deep. Jude Bellingham got pissed.
Really?
He was like, "You guys need to come drop, get
Yeah.
back deep. You need to defend, you know." And you can see some of that friction starting to unfold. My thing at the beginning of the season was always, "I'm gonna give them till like November. I'm gonna give them till November to figure it out." We come into
Right.
a Classico game in October
Right.
and they get pumped.
They've been
forward.
swore. This is not the Real Madrid we see, but usually they always do this. They start off a little bit
Yeah.
slow, and then they win Champions League. At
I
the end
think-
of the season.
that's what Carl Ancelotti said. He was
Yeah.
like, last time we lost 4-0 to Barca, we won the Champions League.
He's right.
I don't think this season, man. 6-point gap in La Liga and you lost at home against Barcelona. I think it could be a wrap for them.
Barca tend to have 2 or 3 games where they throw away.
This team looks
Yeah.
crazy,
This team
man.
looks
I think
insane.
Barcelona
This
is
team
the
looks
best
insane.
team. But
Do you
DR, you're a
remember-
Barcelona fan. I think
Yeah,
that Barcelona is the best team in the world right now.
I mean,
personally.
you
I
remember,
believe so.
sorry, you remember Bayern with Hansi Flick.
Yeah.
A lot of the, how would you call it? A lot of the analogy was that they're an oiled machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what this
Yes.
Barcelona
And
team
he
is
has the
giving me
players
vibes
for
of.
Yes.
that. He has the technicality.
Rafinha, he's running wild.
Yeah.
He's running like chaos. On
He
every
saw those
team.
I
edits
love
with
that.
Nico Williams wearing a shirt. He was like, ha ha ha,
But
watch this.
I don't think that's the case though. I don't think that's why he's been doing good.
I mean,
Just in
I
general.
think is that Hansi Flick got the best out of him. He
did.
knows what he can do because if y'all remember Rafinha in the Premier League with
Leeds.
Leeds,
He
he
almost
was
came
a
to Chelsea.
force.
I was
One man army.
One reason why I started kind of like the Rafinha hate train from my personal perspective
Yeah.
is because what he did to Chelsea.
Yeah,
I
ended up
wanted
at
him
Barcelona,
so
yeah.
bad.
he was
I
a
wanted him
one-man
so
army
bad.
at Leeds
He's
in
a
the
man
Premier
possessed
League.
right now.
You
Yeah,
know?
Hat
he
trick,
saved them
bro.
from relegation.
Yes,
that
he
season, right?
did.
Yep. I remember seeing that picture of him,
Going on, walking on his knees.
walking on his knees the whole pitch.
The whole
Yeah.
pitch.
I was like, he's not just like
Mentally.
talent and
Nah,
stuff.
he came
like,
up.
Discipline
Still
and mentality
Brazilian,
is
man.
there.
They come up. They
Mentally.
come with a story. I love
They
those
always
players.
have
I
a
love,
story.
dude,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
That's awesome.
But I have another thing to touch up on is you guys don't think Rodrigo's absence affected the attacking line a little bit?
I think it helped them.
They downplay Rodrigo a lot.
I know, but I
Yeah.
think it helped them him not playing.
And he's
He's
a
a
clutch
threat.
player.
Of
He's
course.
a clutch player.
He is. He not just a clutch player. He gets disrespected.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of somebody that's not. I don't like Real Madrid. I'm not
Right.
a fan. I hate. I can say I hate Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I do not like that team at all. But people disrespect Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I feel like
Top
they don't
5
appreciate
right-wingers
his
in the world.
presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he does for them. He's a big player.
It doesn't seem like they ever really give him the spotlight.
Yeah.
No, he just puts himself
He
on
puts
the spot.
himself
He
on the
puts,
spot.
and I
He
love
forces
those
it.
type of players.
Yes,
Youngest hat trick in the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's a big title
That's
to
a
have.
big title. And he,
Clutch, Mr. Clutch.
the thing is about Rodrigo, he's always been like a questionable player every season. Are they going to keep him or are they going to sell him?
Right.
Especially when Mbappe was coming in.
Yeah.
They were like, Rodrigo out. I'm like, bro,
I mean, we were
why?
saying he should go to Arsenal.
Yeah, we were saying that, but who?
Arsenal don't
You
have
don't
Like,
want
why
to
get
leave.
rid of him? Why get rid of him?
But like, I would love to see Rodrigo in the Premier League.
Right.
He looked
You
great.
know what I mean?
He's quality.
I got a funny question.
Go ahead.
Rodrigo
Or Saka.
or Bukayo Saka?
Oh my god.
Best right winger,
really
like better right winger in the world.
That's
You see what I
crazy.
mean? The thing is, when
That's a
people
really good
when people look at this question, like when they see like Lau asking that question, if you're not a Real Madrid fan at least,
No, let's look at it. No, like we don't have a
They'll
dog in the
easily
fight.
say,
They
"Oh,
would-
Rodri, are you
Come on,
kidding me?"
man.
Like,
Yeah.
come on,
They would
nah,
say
nah, nah.
Saka.
Yeah,
They were
know.
like, no question, Saka.
Really, you think so? I think
Yeah,
Real
because
Madrid fans tend to
how
think
much of a shadow he's been in.
I feel like
Right.
he'd make a better left winger.
Rodrigo?
Yeah,
No way.
he's a left winger.
You think
Rodrigo's a
so?
left winger. Originally, he's a left
So
winger.
he's not left-footed?
No, he's right-footed.
Not, he's right-footed, right.
Relatively
right.
two-footed, but he's right-footed.
He is.
So
That just speaks of his quality.
it does, which you can respect. That's why I kind of want to see him maybe somewhere else, just to get a little bit extra out of him. Plus, like them going back into that 4-4-2, I think we laugh at it now, but it did get a lot out of Mbappe and Vinicius, right? So Mbappe ended up being offside 8 times in one game, which is
Scored
insane.
2 offside goals.
Two
You know,
offside
he
goals.
has gotten a lot of stick for that.
Yeah.
I will just say, I'll stay consistent, right? Because I was praising Timo Werner, I was praising Nico Jackson, what that was happening to them, because I want to see my forward at least doing that run.
Yeah, well,
Even if you don't get it timed right, I want to see that you're trying to expose that.
Well-
And that keeps the other teams at bay.
I think it's not as much an Mbappe thing as it was a Barcelona
It's a-
thing.
Hansi Flick. I was
Hansi
about to
Flick
say
has
that.
drawn 75 offsides for Barcelona. Second place in top 5 leagues in Europe is Brighton
nice.
with 35.
That's crazy.
Almost double the amount of offsides have been called
Yeah.
from Barcelona alone.
That's
They play that really high line with a youngster like Kubasi.
Kubasi.
He's quality player on the
quality.
ball.
17 years old.
17 years old.
small.
If he looks small, he would never make it in the Premier
No.
League. Like no
Right.
Premier League team would ever be like, yeah, let's give him a
But the,
debut.
the funny thing is, this is not the first time he goes against Mbappe, though.
Right.
Last season, we went against Barcelona against PSG.
Hey, Mbappe did nothing.
He locked up Mbappe.
Mbappe
and
scored a goal after the games. Well, the tie
Yeah.
was dead, you know, but he locked him up. Like he
the
was
first
good.
leg, he locked him up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that specific run that Mbappe makes, right? Like right
Threatening.
across like the front or
Yeah.
the back line, and then they just quickly step. Like,
I
as
think-
soon as he's making that, they're stepping, and it just catches them
It's
every time.
you know, like you talk about the impact of a coach. I often say it's very overrated, but I look at what Hansi Flick is doing.
He changed the whole. I
like-
was not certain about. I was really pessimistic about
Exactly.
him going to Barcelona.
Dude, it's weird because like you look at Barcelona and they are the pinnacle of we play football the way we play football, and
No
we have to win
changing
that
it.
way.
Yeah.
Was it who was it, that manager where you guys went almost unbeaten in the league the
Valverde.
whole season? Was it Valverde?
Yeah.
Yeah, Valverde was the coach. You know, you guys are kind of playing counterattacking. It wasn't
Right.
that tiki-taka Barcelona.
No. I don't think we had
You guys
the
won the
quality.
league that season and only dropped points on the last day of the season, or else you would have went invincible that
Right.
season.
Yeah,
And
I
people were like,
remember.
"Get him out."
Yeah.
Right. Barcelona's pedigree is
Because
that,
that was
that we
because of
have
the
to play that
Champions
way.
League, man.
Yeah.
It's the Barcelona standards.
But at Barca,
Champions
you
League.
have to play and you have to win a certain style of play.
Right.
I thought the same thing with Hansi Flick, like a German coaching
German
Barcelona is
coach.
weird. But
That's
you look at
crazy.
them now, they play this really high line to make the space tight. They press in moments and are aggressive. They play long balls.
Long balls.
How many times was it the Bayern Munich game? How many? Every single one of the goals that
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona
Over the
scored
head.
over the top every
Yeah.
single time, and they would
Rafinha.
score. Rafinha scores a hat trick out of that game.
That was beautiful.
When would you ever think Barcelona would play long ball? Realistically,
Not really.
I think that's also a testament to Vincent Kompany's what do you call it? Naive nature being a manager. But
Yeah.
how are you gonna allow that to happen 4
Bayern
times?
Munich
But
is a
whatever.
big team for a company going in there coming from a Burnley.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the most impressive thing that about Barca is because you guys have been in turmoil for so long now, 3-4 years, and literally the only thing hanging you together is La Masia.
La Masia.
Yeah.
La Masia is such a, well, it just sounds like the mafia, right? Like
Right.
it sounds like this optic place where true quality like is like lives. And I mean, talking about Lamine Yamal,
Wow.
right? Doing La Calma in the Santiago.
He did a
Bernabeu.
Ronaldo celebration as a Barcelona
That was
Academy
insane.
graduate,
That
telling
gave
the
me
Bernabeu to
goosebumps.
calma.
He did it at Madrid.
How
at
dare
their
you?
field.
How dare 17 years? I need to see his bro. This is
This
age got to be
crazy.
fake or something.
That's-
Right.
This is a beast of a guy.
This
right?
guy,
This is-
man. If the Balon d'Or was tomorrow for this season, yeah, he is at the table.
Right?
He is at the
He's
table.
killing
Yeah.
it.
This is not just like, oh, he's a good for a
He's
young
like-
player. Guys, we're watching something monumental.
Yeah.
I
Right.
promise you, this kid is so incredibly special. Who said he doesn't have a good weak foot, bro?
Nah.
Rifled it into the
Right
top of the
foot,
corner.
That was nasty. I can't lie.
Absolutely cold. Kalma
He was
does
ready
the
before
Ronaldo
the
celebration.
game. He
Yeah.
changes braces too.
Changes his
before- just to
braces.
do that celebration.
This kid's a star.
And he's like really
he knows it.
balanced. He takes his moment,
What a
but
game.
he's not like he's chasing that
No.
moment the whole game.
Bro,
It's
how are
just
you
so
17?
controlled.
How are you 17 with a trademark assist?
Right.
That coming into the half
What a
space with the
ball.
inverted pass into the back post.
Yeah.
Spain killed it in the summer
They
with
did,
that.
they did.
Like, how do you have
He
a
was
trademark
one of
move?
their main one of
Yes.
the main reasons why they actually won Euros.
Yes,
'Cause
Oh,
of
yeah.
yes.
17, he just turned 17.
He
at
just
Euros.
turned 17 too.
Rodri got player of the tournament that tournament. Right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
he
Yamal
had the
He
great
was up
thing.
there.
I mean, Yamal was definitely up
Yeah.
for the debate
Him,
for that.
Nico Williams.
Coming off a game against Bayern Munich, what a game he had. He tore that defense
Yeah.
apart.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch a lot of that game. Can you kind of fill me in on?
I'm talking about just from
That's what I'm
Yamal's
saying,
perspective.
yeah.
This
I
guy,
was-
it felt like he was going against like Eber or
Right,
something
right,
against
right, yeah.
a second division
Yeah.
Spanish team. You know, he made Alfonso Davies look like he's like,
Forgot how to play football.
yeah, you know what I mean. They were on him. You know, it wasn't like he had space to play with.
That's
Mm-hmm.
well,
He-
17 years old. You got players, big time Champions League winners that respect you to double up
That's
on you.
crazy. He came and took the, like he said, we haven't beat Bayern since I was like, how long has it been? Since like 10 years
Yeah.
probably.
Probably, yeah.
And he came in, he changed the whole script,
Yeah.
I'll say, against
That's
Bayern.
insane. Like we were looking at that fixture early on and like already clowning Barca.
Yeah.
And then you guys ended up just rolling.
Thomas Muller, come outside. Come outside.
yeah. I want to see what he's been getting from social media.
Yeah, there was a picture of him on the bench, and it's like dark. They're like, "Come on out, come on out."
He's the first one to talk.
He
Like,
loves
he
the
loves going
banter.
against Barcelona.
Oh, dude, Thomas Muller's a great player. I wish we saw him at United. That was something that almost
I can't
happened.
stand Thomas Miller.
Really? Oh, you
He's
Chelsea
one of those,
thing.
He's one of those players that I
Yeah.
don't like. You
If-
know,
I feel
can't.
I feel like it's very hard for him to be like
Great player.
if he's not in your team.
Right.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
a great player. I just
Yeah.
don't like his.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Actually, I do like his character. I just don't like his.
you don't like going up against it.
I don't like his crap talking mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like going up against him. Like
No.
he's one that will rattle you.
I was
would-
convinced he was gonna break Miroslav Klose's
Record,
World Cup
World Cup
record
record.
because he was at like 5
I
after
remember
the
that.
2014
Right.
World Cup,
Mhm.
but Germany just folded time after time after that.
Yeah.
At least they're up now.
I did want to talk about Lewandowski because he had an insane
What a player.
game as
Me,
well.
I should have scored a hat trick personally.
Lewandowski,
Oh, that's
Lewandowski.
good,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
I loved it. His first goal was. You guys know his first goal was outside of the 18.
Right.
He had all that space.
This
in
guy's a
front of him,
marksman, bro.
but he decided to shoot it.
Didn't it look like he kind of like was gonna shoot to the left?
He tricked
And
the
then-
goalie
and that was-
completely.
He shaped
I didn't
left.
catch
Yeah.
that in the initial like when
Yeah.
I first saw it live.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, keeper should have definitely done better
Bro.
there. And then you see it and he kind of shimmies and then that was nasty.
That's nasty.
He sold him, man. He was like,
Yeah.
"You want to buy it?" He bought it. You know, at the end of the day. But man,
2 minutes later, I think. Comes down,
Yeah.
scores another one.
what a header that was too.
Yeah.
man.
That was
And I
beautiful.
think, I mean, right after that, he goes and misses a sitter. And then
Yeah.
Well,
hits
it did hit the
crossbar.
cross.
He should
No,
score
he
that.
misses a sitter first.
He missed the sitter. Then he
hits
hit the
crossbar.
post.
Yeah.
He hit the post, right?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
he misses first, like he just
Yeah, yeah,
misses.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
he
I know,
should've
I know. Then
scored.
he hits
And
the
then
right
he hits
post.
the post, yeah.
Yeah.
Which probably should have scored too. But
Realistically, you can't
huge
hold it against
performance.
him.
He was going into the wings. I saw a lot.
Yeah.
Just quickly chesting it off.
The
Dude, that's nasty.
I can't remember if it was the Rafinha or the Yamal goal too. Like they
was
play
the
a
third
long
goal.
ball and then Lewandowski gets
That's
the
what I'm
flick on.
saying.
Yeah.
Gets the
That's
flick on.
nasty.
Proper center forward.
Like
play,
the
man. You'll see
Harry
that.
Kane,
Dude,
Human
that's
son.
nasty.
Yeah, could have Harry Kane
That's
Lewandowski's
what
10
I'm
times
just
the player.
saying. Like, if I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
Harry Kane, how he didn't even need to look where Human son was. You just flick it back.
Combination.
And he would just be in
It's really
behind.
interesting because he's someone that I thought maybe wasn't super mobile or be able to be
Who,
mobile.
Lewandowski?
Yeah.
Nah,
Nah,
man,
he's
But
amazing.
he can-
Good
he
shape,
can
bro.
get
Back
up
in the
there.
Lewandowski, back in his prime days and younger days,
Yeah.
he was
Oh, no,
saucy.
yeah.
He would
That's what I'm
dribble in
saying,
the
like
box.
now
Have
I
you
thought
seen that
maybe-
goal he scored against Real Madrid?
Yeah,
He
four. He scored 4.
I know, but one of them where he shook the
Yeah,
Ramos,
yeah.
he sent him, bro. Like,
Crazy dude.
What a beautiful
He is
footwork.
a disrespected player. Like last season for Barcelona didn't perform
No,
that
he
well.
wasn't there. Actually.
He wasn't good.
But they were going through a tough time.
Exactly.
you
And
know?
people were so quick to be like he's washed X, Y, and Z.
Nah, I
but
didn't believe that.
man, like
but he was missing a lot of sitters last season.
no, I hear it. I understand, but you know, overall, you follow
Yeah.
Barcelona. Their setup was not the best in itself, like chance creation wise
thing
and
is,
whatnot.
That's kind of crazy because Xavi is. When you think about Xavi, when you think about prime Barcelona, Xavi is one of the main components,
Mhm.
and
Huge.
that
Mhm.
he was huge in their
Yeah.
the way they played.
Yeah.
Right.
And he came in, he tried to implement what they had going on,
Right.
but I
The
don't
difference
think
is like that Xavi team.
he
they
didn't have the
played-
players.
He didn't have a striker.
Right.
He didn't play like Xavi when he played. in
Yeah,
his
he didn't
prime,
have a try. It was
it's
Messi.
David Villa or Messi.
Messi would
You
play
know,
center forward.
right?
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
Lewandowski's
The
a
flow
center.
of
He's
it.
a center forward.
So maybe he didn't cater
Yeah,
towards that style.
But I do have to. That's kind of what I was trying to say about Lewa. That he's doing that really well. Just kind of
Yes.
playing that it's a center forward, but he's also really going and linking up play really well.
Dude,
Like,
he's
not-
all round.
He's
He's
not always
full.
acting as
No.
a striker.
Dude,
Because
Lewandowski-
Rafinha will go in there and do
Yeah.
Exactly.
that. You know, and
And
that's
he's
a big
getting the-
threat. You send that ball, Rafinha's gone.
Yeah. Lewandowski belongs in the same bracket as Benzema's, as
Suarez.
Suarez's. He
Easily.
belongs in that
Easily.
bracket.
I
I think
think
people
the
are easy to disrespect
When
him.
you think of strikers of our generation,
Yes.
When you
Yes.
think of that
Elite.
as top three strikers, I think of him
Those three.
being in there.
I'd say
yeah,
those three.
Benzema.
I mean, dude, literally.
Suarez.
So Benzema used to get a lot of hate.
Yep.
And then he went and won the World Cup.
Yeah.
World Cup.
Ballon
He went and
d'Or.
won the Ballon d'Or. If if Lewa wins that Ballon d'Or, which they stole
He
off
should
him,
have.
right? Which they stole off him, I think, he's not disrespected as much.
nah, I don't think he even is disrespected.
Like the
I
disrespect
feel
goes away.
so
though.
bad
The
for him,
question goes
honestly.
away. The question
All
goes
that
away.
hard. What did he score? Like over 50 goals that season?
Dude, he won 6 titles,
I
bro.
was gonna say.
That's
6
wild.
titles.
But-
With Hansi Flick, by the way.
Yeah, but that was with Hansi Flick.
Yep.
But
Connection.
you think that was not to me? Like they saying, oh, Messi robbed him or this and that, but
No. The season where there
They
was
didn't
no
give it.
Ballon d'Or.
They
Remember?
didn't. Yeah, that's
there was
what
no
it
Ballon
was.
d'Or.
He would have won.
that is such
That's
a
his.
robbery.
So stupid.
And I'm saying if he would have gotten that, there would be no question.
Yeah.
There would be no.
Why
disrespect
was there
to
no
Lewa.
Ballon d'Or that season?
COVID.
I know it's because of COVID,
So
but what's the reason?
They
How-
They
decided
couldn't
to
hold
do
the
it.
ceremony,
How are
the
you
whole
gonna?
thing.
This is one of the biggest award ceremonies in world football.
Yes.
That's probably
you know,
the biggest.
the
ceremony, yeah.
biggest. How don't you just give the man what he deserves?
Yeah,
Right.
nah.
You know?
I think it was because of the COVID and people
He
couldn't
was
actually
heart.
meet.
He was heartbroken because of that.
Well, even if
I
you
would
don't
be
hold a
too.
ceremony, right? Like at least
Give it to him, man.
give
Him the flowers he
prizes,
deserves.
give
you
the
know,
prizes,
just
like,
follow
give
the
team-
COVID protocols. What
Yeah.
they had going on at that time?
Well,
You know,
Yeah.
They can literally mail or ship them. You know, you've made congrats. You've made the starting 11 of whatever.
Make a video online, tag us, whatever.
Congrats, Lewa, Ballon d'Or winner.
He should have
You know?
got
or
it,
they
man.
could have
So
postponed it to a
disappointing.
better time. What the heck, man?
That's what that was
So
the initial.
disappointing.
That was the initial thing they said that they were going to
And
postpone, and then they ended up
yeah.
canceling.
Yo,
it.
I just clocked something. You know the season after where Messi won and people were like, oh, Lois should have gotten
Hey,
it.
that's what I'm talking about.
But remember there was a trophy? It was like the best goal scorer or something like that?
They just gave him a
Oh,
mediocre.
yeah, like they made a
trophy.
trophy for him,
Yeah.
and they did it the season after, and now they're not doing it anymore.
Nah.
Question
bullshit.
mark? Maybe
Bullcrap,
because
dude.
Cristiano Ronaldo scored a lot of goals? Question mark?
Nah.
Wow.
That's what
Something
I
in
was.
that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, you
Sus.
think if it was somebody else up there being the contender, like let's say if it was Ronaldo, or let's say if it was Ronaldo who
or
was,
Messi, like that deserved it, they would have made
not
it.
even
happen.
the, Messi, like let's say just some of those.
I mean, no, because he was
Somebody
pretty,
else-
He was pretty undeniable. Like he's as undeniable. as
It's
it
pretty
got.
undeniable.
Are you saying the season where he should have won it, or the season after
the
where Messi
season he
won
should
it?
have won?
He
You
should've-
think
like,
they
if
would
they
have
would've
robbed
done it.
somebody else?
Yeah.
Bro, who? He won 6 titles.
No, but
I'm
that's
saying
what
if it was
if
somebody
it
else,
was
instead,
somebody
let's say if it was
else.
Oh.
That
let's say if it was a
wasn't
Mo
Messi or
Salah.
Ronaldo.
Oh.
that
Yeah.
or Neymar, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Mbappe.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe they forced the issue a little bit more.
Because I mean, Lewa is not someone that's I feel like very like going back to the Rodrigo point, like someone that's forced onto the spotlight. He
No.
forces himself onto the spotlight.
Something about Bayern players and being robbed from Ballon d'Ors.
I
don't
mean,
know.
bro, like you look at the Ballon d'Or's history, and it's always Real Madrid, Barcelona.
That's what
I
I'm
feel like
saying.
Lewandowski went to Barcelona because he was like, "This is my best opportunity."
Right,
To win a Ballon
I
d'Or.
that's
can't
what
win
I'm
the-
saying.
yeah.
I know that.
Go
What
on.
if this
ahead.
season, this upcoming season, you think if he keeps his form, he might be up there?
Yeah,
I personally nominate
120%.
Lamine personally, just because I don't know, man. I
disgusting.
love it when
Bro,
kids
I would
come on the scene.
love
and just
to
ball
see
out.
Lamine Yamal.
that would
Lamine
be
Yamal
podium.
win the Ballon d'Or.
Right
because
now he's there.
He'll
bro.
break the record for being the youngest.
He's there. He's
Because
right
Ronaldo,
there right now.
R9 is the youngest.
Yeah,
right?
19, I believe, right.
19. He's the youngest one to ever win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. I think he was 19
or
or
18 or 19.
I think he was 19.
That's crazy.
did
And I would
probably check
love.
up on that.
I feel like
He's there, man. Like if
He's-
Ballon d'Or's
Yamal is
tomorrow
the
based on
only-
this season, he's definitely a contender for that award.
yeah, I was arguing with a group of friends the other day,
Hmm.
and they were saying like list like who would be your top 5 players at the moment. I was like,
For
what-
this upcoming Ballon
I
d'Or
was
or the
like,
one
I'm
that's
s-
supposed to
they-
come on Monday
They're just saying at like who's
Right
the
now,
top 5
right
best
now.
for this season?
best players. Not even this. I was like, well, we're gonna consider the Euros as well. I was like, since the summer, since the Euros, the top 5 players I would say is like Yamin Yamal is number one to me.
He's number one to me too. I
Like
think.
you can argue Holland, Rodrigo.
No, I'm not going
but
to.
I think is Yamin
I'm not
Yamal.
going to.
You know, coming from international standpoint and club.
No, I'm
Right.
not going to argue with that.
You know
I
what I mean?
can't pose
I-
a better contender for best
The
player right
only
now.
the only player that I think maybe tops Lamine Yamal is
Say it, I dare
you
you.
said it. What's his name?
Holland,
You just said it. No, Rodri,
Rodri,
Oh, yeah.
right? Or Carvajal.
Carvajal. What a man.
What a player.
Yeah.
Man, that's
What a
so
player.
that sucks.
Right, and he gets yeah,
He
exactly.
got an ACL injury.
Oh no,
and
sorry.
he has to retire.
I thought you were gonna say like it sucks for defenders because
Oh yeah,
almost
yeah,
never
for
they're
sure.
not gonna win a Ballon
That's so
d'Or.
crazy because that
But-
rang a bell in my head.
What did he do for Real Madrid? He was pivotal.
He's never gonna win it.
He was pivotal in them winning the Champions League.
He was.
He
He
was
was a
pivotal
game
for
changer.
Spain.
Spain.
Dude, huge
Huge.
block back there.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
no
was
defender's never gonna
You
get it.
don't-
I wish
you
they
guys-
could break it into more awards so more people would get really
They
the
do
cred.
get like
do
the
the
best
Rhino.
defender.
They don't have the
award.
same like
the best
gravitas. It's the
goalie.
Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean?
It's been
So
going towards.
I have an
the
interesting
stats.
question. So Monday, but Vinicius is supposed to get the Ballon d'Or for this upcoming season.
So
First of all,
tomorrow.
tomorrow he's supposed to get it apparently. So
But is
say
it
the reports.
confirmed as him though? Because
Pretty much.
Rodrigo's still in the talks though, right?
Nah, but Rodri or Rodrigo.
I mean, Rodri's real name
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
Rodrigo.
yeah.
Right?
I didn't know which one you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah, but
But word on the socials is that he should be getting it tomorrow. Justified in your guys' eyes? Who would you pose as your top 3 if you had to rank your 3 for last season?
I honestly
So
don't
remember, it's by season, and it does include
Right.
the
Internationals.
internationals for that last season, right?
Yeah, I would say there's no way. There's no way you can give it to Vinicius Jr.
Really?
Yeah, right. I think Rodri has done more than enough to be considered the best
at
player in
his
the world.
position, right?
I think in general, like what he's done with City, City would not have won that treble without Rodri. They don't win.
But
that
it's not
next-
for the treble year, though.
No, of course.
It's for
of
last
course.
year,
I know.
just the
No,
league
but
that they won.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
what he's been able to do with City.
That's a good point.
next-
You know why?
the next
Because
year he
Vinicius,
wins
I
it
didn't
again.
see Vinicius Jr. do anything for Brazil.
That's what I'm
Nothing.
saying.
He
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
non-existent
He-
player.
he
for
Why
has
us.
does
not done
international
anything.
doesn't come into like the topic
See,
when you
this is
talk
what
about?
I hate. Every year it feels like they have new criteria for what the Ballon
Why
d'Or
is it
is supposed
just,
to be.
like-
For you guys, what does it mean? Like,
You're never convinced.
I feel like
you haven't
it's
been
all
convinced of
over,
the
to be
Ballon d'Or
honest.
well, for you, what does it mean for? So Ballon d'Or is the best player in the world. What
Best
does that
player.
mean to you?
The best player in the world, I think he should show up for his country
Right.
because
100%.
Internet-
Club and country.
country is when you show like this is the most respected
It is.
tournaments. You
Right,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Showing up for your country is probably like one of the biggest achievements as a soccer player,
Yeah.
as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like football players tend to go harder for their country because
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
my country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm representing
Club,
my
you
country.
just if you're not growing up in that club, boyhood club type thing,
Yeah.
like growing
It's a
up in the
different feel.
academy, you know, it's a different feeling,
Yeah.
right? But when you when you play ask any any football player since they're younger, what's your dreams to play represent my
Yeah.
country? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like this is your army type thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Personally, we don't have country, so we can't relate. You know.
Maybe.
Maybe
no.
soon.
Maybe
OTW.
No, but like, what else in terms of being the best?
I think you
player?
got to be that player week in, week out. I also think there's
Yeah.
an element of like, get me off my seat. Like, you know,
You know
like,
what I mean?
I look at Rodri and it's not like, or Carvajal, that's not like a player that
But
excites me.
Rodri
Right.
though,
to the
you
same
gotta
degree.
give him respect because
No,
what he does
no,
for
no.
his team.
No, of course.
He like what his role is big. His
It's
role
massive.
wins you games,
And
wins
he
you
is like
trophies.
an outstanding player in that position, and there's no competition.
He's
with
been the
regards to it.
best. I would say he's been the best in that position at
For a
least in the
while.
last 3 to 4 years.
Easily, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
For sure.
That position probably requires the most discipline.
Exactly.
Out of any other
Out of
position.
any position.
And he's doing it alone, and he's been doing. it
And
in
he's
the
not. He's
best
not the one that
club
sits
in the-
back while attacking either.
Exactly.
He's
He
added more
does
to his
more-
game.
He does more than
Those,
that.
yeah, you know what I mean. He scores important, like in the Champions League. He scored.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
man.
So you
Oh,
think it was Rodri? You think it
So
should have been
I
Rodri?
would give it to Rodri.
I think, for me, I'm not trying to hate on Vinicius or be like, you know, I'm not on the bias side. Obviously, I don't like Real Madrid, but I feel like for a player to win Ballon d'Or, he has to do more. For an attacking player, he has to like. It has to be. You can't question it. Just like we're talking about Lewandowski, you can't question it.
Right.
You know,
that's-
he's the
that's-
winner.
Right. Exactly.
Like he literally broke all the expected. Let's say like if they had like bars, statistic bars,
Yeah.
he broke all the bars. There's no you
Yeah.
can't question it. You know what I
I
mean?
would say for Vinny, like
The thing is about Vinny, he scored important goals.
Important goals are
in
big.
important games,
and he
you
had
know what
like
I mean?
moments in those Champions League games where you're out of your seat. Like he's an extravagant player. He's a flair.
You know,
he gets you
yeah.
excited to watch him week in
Like
week
to
out.
me personally, this is gonna be like a hot take, but Neymar's Champions League winning season is way better than this Vinicius
my
Junior
God.
Ballon d'Or
Oh,
season.
easily.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Easily.
like dude, the thing is, it comes back to like
That's why
your
it feels
discipline.
unjustified.
Your discipline
Yeah.
as a player,
Yeah.
right? Like you as a Real Madrid player, you have the luxury that you're gonna get great service, you're gonna get great balls, blah blah blah, and then you have to do something great with it as
Absolutely.
well, right? But you're always gonna have that luxury. Rodri has to keep his team organized. He has to.
I mean, look
he
at Man
can't-
City without
he
him.
Can't, if he messes up, the whole team is done.
And it's
Yeah.
not like he messes
what
up.
I'm
It's
saying?
just that he's not there. That they
Whereas
fold.
Vinicius in a Classico, you're down 2-3-0, right? I can't remember exactly, but you guys had already scored, and he's over here letting the ball go, acting like he's gonna let the ball go, going back to it, and then trying.
Yeah,
to
I don't like
rainbow
all
flick.
those antics he
Looking
does.
goofy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm not a
right,
fan.
like-
Yeah, he wasn't
like
his
that's
best.
that's the
Yeah.
ugly side of his game.
Sportsmanship
and I
ain't
think
there.
that takes away from just in general you as a football player.
Yeah.
Because Rodri, first off, he's never gonna think to do any of that because he's focused on something else.
Bro, he tucks in his
he's
shirt.
focused
He
on
is so about his
He's
craft.
focused on how can I win.
Yeah.
You know, and that he knows how to do that.
So sad
He
for
can
him.
manipulate things in order to make that happen. Whereas Vinicius is just kind of living off the moment.
Yeah, but man, I look at like you said Neymar. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because like
The
you
flair, the
look
flair.
at not even like bro that like Neymar is an outstanding like he wins multiple Ballon d'Ors if there's no Messi
Right.
Ronaldo.
Right.
You look at world football now and I feel like there's not that many players on that pedestal.
No.
Like Vinny Jr. as a Ballon d'Or winner, like that's not like
But that's the thing. That's the best we got.
that's the
right
best
now.
we have right now. Like
And-
it's not.
But
like,
is it the best?
Who's your top three?
Yeah.
I would say Rodri, Bellingham, and Vinny.
Vinny, of course.
Outside shouts for Lautaro Martinez and Carvajal. I would say those are the
That's
people that
so
are in and around
crazy.
the
Would you
podium.
ever think you'd have this much of a low
It feels
standard?
poor. Like some of the
in a
people that have
Ballon
finished
d'Or?
third are like way better than
If
anybody
you asked
now.
me, if you asked me like in 2022, who would you think will be the 2024 Ballon d'Or winner? I would
Vinny Jr.
I would
I'd
say
laugh at
Mbappe. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say Mbappe.
Yeah,
Right,
without
right.
a question.
Exactly.
And he's not even in the top 5.
Well, I was gonna say, like, has Vinny Jr. been better than Cole Palmer?
Oh, but it doesn't matter because Cole Palmer is scoring when games that don't matter, you know, because he didn't win anything.
Yeah.
If we remember what you said last episode,
Right,
Reggie.
but he comes on for England and he does what he does.
The England didn't win anything.
Didn't see enough. Of,
He
I
England
comes
didn't win
he
anything.
he
wins-
has a
he
fair
tries to-
argument. I'm not.
Bro,
gonna-
nah, if you haven't won trophies,
yeah.
you can't be contender
No,
for Ballon
of
d'Or.
course, but I'm saying like as the best player in the world, like,
Best
this
player in the world, he
player
has some
world won.
contention for that, yeah. But
You know what
again,
I'm
you don't
saying?
see Cole Palmer in the Champions League semifinal
Because of that. Of
Exactly,
course,
you don't
100%.
see him in
Yeah,
these
it's-
massive, huge games
yeah.
as frequently.
But you take
Accolades
away,
comes
you
in.
take you put Cole Palmer in that Real Madrid team, you swap and put Vinny in the Chelsea team. Who's gonna look goofy? Who's gonna look out of place?
I
Who's
don't
gonna
know.
look like that Balon d'Or winner?
Bellingham's probably gonna have to sit,
Nah.
You know
or
what
maybe
I'm
he plays
saying?
on the right wing instead
You know
of
what I'm saying?
Rodrigo.
There's way too much questions around.
Yeah, the
Vinny
thing is,
winning the Ballon
this
d'Or.
is you're opening a lot of doors when you
No,
talk
no, no.
about replacing.
Yeah, the swap.
because that's when you go into the question of can Vinicius hang in a Premier League?
Can Cole Palmer
Right.
hang in a different
Right.
environment? It doesn't
But
speak
see
the language.
that goes on to the same field of Rodri does in the Premier League.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he has the best
That's
setup
cra-
for
yeah,
it and
you're
whatnot.
right.
But dude, that guy, like, you can't. I'm sorry, Rodri's craft compared to Vinny's craft, they don't touch.
Yeah.
Rodri's way up there.
But Vinny is all
a
about.
flashy player.
he's a flashy-
Great. He-
But what is the Ballon
he
d'Or? It's
will
always
drive-
superstars.
He's probably the last player I remember who pulled off a rainbow flick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that had the
I've
courage
not
to do
seen
that.
anybody do that. He's the last. He's the last flary player.
Yeah,
we've
but I
probably
don't
got.
think
This-
Flair. I think Flair is overrated. Like, I don't think.
I
That,
think Flair is overrated because not a lot of people do it nowadays.
But like,
Right.
dude, like that's the kind of stuff that we fell in love with the game. Like, think about
Exactly.
Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Like
I
you think
think
about
I-
the Ballon
I
d'Or winners,
appreciate
they're
There's
all
a-
like
Vinicius Junior.
superstars, and Vinny is close enough to that. I would say. I think he edged it just a little bit because of those big performances in the Champions League and in the league. Don't forget, because Real Madrid performed very well in the league.
They won
this is
the
very
league.
interesting. Like in terms of like like
It's
our
just
personality
from
and
my
why we like
perspective.
it.
Yeah.
No, like for example, like you guys are really emphasizing like the flair, right? Like
It's
that you
important.
It's
really
not just the
love that.
flair. It's like him going against the best fullback in the world, Kyle Walker,
Cooking him.
cooking
Right,
him.
right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, and like get up out of your
Huge
seat
moments,
Yeah,
huge
get out of
moments.
your seat moments.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the main things that I really love about soccer is like it's not just one person.
No,
going at
yeah.
it. Like it takes a whole a whole freaking squad, whatever.
I love that.
You know, to
Yeah.
actually like be able to beat Tonight, and I think Rodri really exemplifies.
I
that.
get that. Yeah. Like
know what
if
I'm
you,
saying?
it's like, it's the way you word it, it's very interesting because like, if it's who's the best player in the world, every single year it should be Messi because he's just the best
Yeah,
player.
he's just the best
You know,
player.
like,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
if you contextualize it based around their seasons and their achievements and this kind of stuff, like somebody like
It's
a
their
Vinicius.
impact, right? Like the
Impact is the big one, right?
Impact.
Like that makes you the best footballer player in the world, like a
Right.
functional player.
Right.
Like who's the most important player for a winning team? And then if you ask that question, it's Rodri.
Right.
Spain and with the Premier League, you know? I think that in that
That
conversation,
it
makes me
answers
mad.
itself.
but I
doesn't it?
don't
It
think that's what the
answers
Ballon
itself.
d'Or is. I think the Ballon d'Or is who's the better footballer,
Right.
like the better player.
The thing
Does that
is-
mean like
Right.
your ability,
No,
your
yes,
tech,
of course, yeah.
your ability to get like
Your
people,
quality.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
aren't watching games like you're not coming into a game like, oh, I'm so
I wanna
excited to watch
watch
Rodri. I can't wait to see him intercept the
Nah,
ball,
well, you would
play
love to
a
have
5-yard pass. You
And
know,
that's crazy because he did get taken off at the 60th minute in the Euro finals.
right? Because he got hurt, and
Yeah.
Zubimendi didn't miss a beat,
Nah.
not a miss a beat. You know, but
Man,
he was
we missed
pivotal getting up until that point.
That gets me sad because like, players like Mo Salah, the season they had, like
Yeah.
Neymar's, those Ballon d'Or deserving season
Didn't get it. That's
performances.
why it feels like we're being robbed. It's like a
Right.
Vinicius Jr. Like, bro, Neymar didn't even win a
Yeah,
Ballon d'Or.
that's like-
Right.
I'm
Something
saying
missing.
like, if this Vinicius Junior deserves a Ballon d'Or, then Mo Salah deserves 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
seriously.
let's be honest.
No, and I think it goes to show that I think tomorrow Rodri should be lifting the Ballon d'Or instead of Vinicius.
Right.
I still give it a Vinny.
Do you think they'll give it to? I mean,
It's
we don't
gonna
know.
be Vinny. I think it's
Yeah.
I think
almost
they'll give it
confirmed
to
it's
Vinny.
Vinny.
I think they'll give it
But
to Vinny.
what's it called? Do you think Rodri? He was one of the main components in winning the Euros, right?
He was, yeah.
But you think people like who vote for the Ballon d'Or, they gonna look at his role or they just look
I don't
at
think
Vinicius
so.
So
Junior?
this is where all of that like comes into question. Like, is this a footballing like analysis of?
That's what I was gonna get at. Is it just about stats?
or
No,
or
it's-
is it a popularity?
You know what? You
contest?
know what it is? Think about journalism because the people that vote for the Ballon d'Or are players, managers, and journalists.
Yeah.
Mostly journalists. So who's gonna sell more?
Who's gonna sell more?
Who's gonna sell more? Who's the
That's
most
so
popular
sad.
player?
We've
That's
never
so
seen a
sad.
Spanish player win a Ballon d'Or.
Dude, that Spanish generation that went through a three-peat.
Yeah.
One of the greatest footballing sides ever. Not one player from that team won a Ballon d'Or.
Right.
That's
Because of
BS.
Messi, you know, and
Yeah.
Ronaldo. But like Iniesta, Xavi's, like who are the players that you look at and you're like, man, that guy should deserve the Ballon d'Or. Like he had that
Probably
quality.
David Villa, bro.
Yeah,
You
man.
know?
David Villa was a
Fernando
I was
Torres.
gonna say
never.
that. Yeah.
Fernando
Yeah.
Torres, he cheaped up.
He had one.
He had one crazy season.
One crazy
Yeah,
season.
that was
with
it. Didn't
Liverpool.
win anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like those people will be great contenders.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like the season, you know,
Right.
like Ribery's season.
Ribery.
Ramos.
Snyder's just-
Talking about
Snyder's
defenders.
Defenders will never like Cannavaro was the last one. They
Carlos
just don't get their
Puyol.
cred, bro.
That's so sad.
Ramos. Those are great
Ramos,
center backs.
Bro,
you know?
that year that Neuer showed up for
Oh, yeah.
freaking
I was
Bayern
pushing for that.
and
Yeah.
won the World Cup.
Top 3. I was pushing for that.
He deserved the Ballon d'Or.
I was pushing for that.
He deserved the Ballon d'Or
did.
that year.
I was really Van
That's
Dijk.
sad, dude.
Van
I'm not gonna
Dijk.
lie. Yeah, like that season, he was up there.
2018.
I think Messi still deserved it. Personally.
Was it 2019 actually? They won the Champions
It
League.
might have been the Champions League year.
Yeah.
That prime of Van Dijk was strong. Like, you know, like when you weigh him up against some of the other center backs in the Prem,
He lost by like 6 votes. I
his
think.
prime,
That's the biggest flex of us I can say
Yeah.
about Van Dijk. Honestly, is like my
his
center back.
prime was strong, bro, compared to a lot
I
of
can
other
say
top
my
center
center
backs.
back. My center when you like compare center backs like to the old or new. You
Yeah.
know when they say center back legends in the Premier League.
Top 3.
I can say my center back came 6 points off from Messi winning the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the flex, bro.
That's legit.
Come on.
Yeah.
No,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, he's mad.
No, not at all. Van Dijk's not a
So-
better center back than half of the guys that play for United, but we can get into
Get
that
outta
some another
here.
day. Then maybe for another day. Who are some Ballon d'Or players that what is it called? Go
Ballon
ahead.
d'Or winners.
No. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about a huge beast in the game,
Who is that?
Erling Haaland.
Oh yeah, there's rumors,
Because
Dior.
there is no.
Yeah.
But just the Ballon d'Or perspective.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
of course, he's not.
He
Very,
thought
he's not able to do a
they
lot
said
with
he
his
got
country.
robbed too.
But just in general, like I think the fact that we don't mention him
This
speaks
year-
of the event itself.
This year or for the season or for this Ballon d'Or they're giving out tomorrow or the season before?
No,
I think it was the
definitely
season
not. He
before
doesn't
where
deserve-
he balled out. The treble season, he had stake for that. I think he
Yeah.
should have won that over Messi personally.
Right.
He was pissed.
But I
Yeah.
mean, you don't think just in general, he should be up there.
That's a weird one because like Erling Haaland isn't a great football player. He's just a
But still,
machine
he's
in
a
football.
machine.
But why do you? So you can't say he's not a
No,
good
it's just
He's
football
what-
player.
not.
you
He's
just-
not a good football player. He touches the ball 6 times a game, scores 2 goals.
But he can
But
still.
that doesn't.
He's an
speak
athlete.
for his- like that doesn't say wow.
As a player, like all of the abilities that he has, there's a lot of players that are better.
So
than
I
him.
can get into something right with this Balon d'Or thing. Is it on the ball?
I mean, it's
Is it how you are on the ball?
I think it doesn't matter.
not necessarily because
I
that's
think
what I was
it's-
saying earlier. Because if
because
it's
you
about the
just-
best player, then it's just Messi every year because he's
Right.
the best player.
It's not even about that. It's
Yeah.
about who, like you said, impact. Who's the
Impact.
most impactful
Impactful
player on a
player.
team?
Yeah. And
You
if
know?
you're a goal scoring machine, you have to be in that conversation. What he did in that
Right.
treble winning scene,
They don't win.
I
They
think
don't
he
win
should've won.
last year's title without Erling Haaland.
Right.
You know
But
what
even
I'm
though
saying?
he had an off year
He had
because he
an
scored
off
like
year.
24 goals.
course.
24 goals is an
That's
off year.
what I'm saying. And how did they do in the Champions League? They got to the
And well, he
semis?
was still the
Yeah.
top scorer in the Premier League, though.
And
Right.
imagine if he had a good team in his country, like for his
He
country.
was injured though.
Yeah,
he was injured a
he
lot.
was. He
Yeah.
was in and out of
His
that City
foot
team last
injury.
season at least.
So, Dr, I have a question. How and there's nothing concrete on this, but I want to flirt with the idea of it because I think you're getting
where you're
Barcelona
going.
is getting in a place where this might be necessary. Madrid have superstars,
Yeah.
right? And of course, you have your La Masia, which I think is, well, I don't
One
think
player we
I
didn't
know
touch
that's
up
the
on.
best academy in the world, right?
Yeah.
What if you top that off with Holland?
Lewandowski phase out,
Yeah.
bring in Holland.
You know what's crazy about that? I've seen that rumor for like the past 3 years.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
people have been predicting this.
And people as soon as that came out, people were like, "Nah, he'd want to join Real Madrid." You know? He'd wanna join Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
but there was.
and it made more sense to me in that sense.
I
like,
think
he
that will
was more
bring
of
back
their
the
style.
flavor. He will
You
bring
look
back.
at what Lewandowski's doing right now, and imagine you kind of move him on and phase in Holland as that 115 charges come down. He runs away, jump ship. He has a release clause in his contract.
Always has.
Always has a release clause in his contract, so he's able to leave whenever he
Right.
wants. I think it's like 100, 120
And he
million.
didn't like when he came into the Premier League, he didn't tell us I'm gonna be here for
Nah.
he just
Nobody
he
expected that
showed
of
us
him.
I'm here just to make my mark and leave.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
literally just he
He's
said, I'm
that
not
type
here to
of
break.
player.
He could leave tomorrow and he'll be in
Yeah.
conversations for the greatest number 9 to ever touch that grass in that league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see anybody breaking his record
Ever.
Yeah.
for like at least 10 years.
might take a while.
They'd have to tweak the
System.
league.
The
Yeah.
quality of the league must either like come down and a super level superstar emerges, or like I don't know. I can't say
Yeah,
any
like
other
somebody
way.
has
It
to have a
seems
40
impossible.
goal season and just in the Premier League.
It
Yeah.
seems impossible.
You
It's
know,
just like that.
yeah, it seems impossible.
It seems impossible.
It's
It's just like the
impossible.
Chelsea home unbeaten record.
Yeah.
Right.
87. The next
Mourinho.
closest is 67 or
Right.
65. It's not gonna happen.
Insane.
Was Holland's
It's
was
not
it
happening.
36 goals in one season?
In the Prem, yeah.
That was just the prem.
I know, that's
Actually,
what I'm
he ended
saying.
up with like 42.
No.
Not in the Prem.
Not in the Prem.
All comps, he was at like 50. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm about to look
Dude,
it up real
I'm
quick.
pretty.
No, in the Prem it was 36
It was
goals.
36?
Because
Okay.
the record before that was tied, or was Mo Salah's,
Right.
31.
Okay, so you broke it like 5 goals.
He broke it by
32.
5.
Mo
32.
Salah had 32 because
32.
Ronaldo
He
and
had 31.
whoever else it was
Suarez.
at 31. Suarez and Shearer, I think,
I
was the other
think
one.
Suarez would have had a chance to break that record because he was suspended for like 10 games.
Yeah,
that
he let his
season.
team down with Luis
Oh,
Suarez.
yeah.
He let his
Yeah.
team down.
Imagine if he took penalties too.
Did you see that they played ATL United?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he scored and he hit the greedy.
Luis Suarez, God,
He's
I hate
killing
that
it
guy.
in MLS.
Dude, he's so
This
annoying.
is
I hate
he's just
Luis
walking in
Suarez.
that little league.
God,
I
Luis
hate
Suarez.
like when Messi first went to Inter Miami, I put notifications on my phone, and it would always notify me. And then at one point, like after like 6-7 weeks, I was like, dude, they play like the same 7 teams. Like, what
Yeah.
is
No.
it? I
No.
hate, and I turned them off because I hated getting notifications. It's like they're playing Cincinnati
I was
again.
supposed to go
It's like
watch
that's
a
like the
game.
5th time you've played in
Yeah.
like 4
That's
weeks. Bro.
crazy.
Crazy.
I was supposed to go watch a game last year at DC,
Yeah, we were flirting with that idea.
and
You got to make it happen, man.
I ended up not going because
Yeah.
Messi wasn't
Playing, yeah.
playing, but I should have still went
Mhm.
because Suarez was there and he scored a hat trick.
Dude, there's no player in football ever that I hate more than Luis Suarez.
That's crazy.
I
can never
absolutely hate him.
I can see
What a
why.
rat.
We know you're a Man United fan. We know,
Terrible, terrible person.
but the history is.
Get in
I
the
wanna-
comments. Let me
I-
know what you think about Luis Suarez. I think he's incredibly overrated.
Yo, talking about the comments,
crazy.
we would love to get more interaction from you guys in the comments. So
Yeah.
tap in, man.
Tap in. Let's have a conversation in the comment section.
I did want to transition really quick to the Champions League. We don't have to talk specifically about the games or anything, but I want to talk about just the setup, how it's felt like this season. Because
New
from
format.
from a personal perspective, I felt pretty disconnected from the competition.
Interesting.
Obviously, Chelsea are not in it, so maybe that has a part to play. But just in general, I'm not really excited for the games. I'm not really sure what the table looks like. And yeah, I just wanted to see kind of like what were your guys' thoughts on that.
You like the new format? You guys like it?
I
What do you feel about
personally
I
it?
feel like
feel-
we're gonna love it.
I think I'm.
I
love
hope
it.
I
kinda
really
like
want
it.
that.
Yeah.
I really want that. But right now, it feels like
It's
I
new.
just don't. It doesn't seem like games are exciting.
I think it's
There's exciting games, but they don't feel
Yeah,
like the
it's
games
not.
are exciting themselves. Like there's not a lot
everybody
to fight
loves
for, which
the
is what the
traditional,
Champions League
the
is.
traditional.
There was
group
nothing
stage.
wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with
No,
the
there
old
wasn't.
format.
No, but
Realistically, the only reason they're doing it is because all this Super League fiasco.
Right.
right.
Get more big games
So
going.
so sorry. How do you feel?
That's what I was gonna touch up on. It's like it's like seeing like Liverpool and Real Madrid play like
Right.
it's like normal. It's like
Yeah.
it's not some. It's like regular. I think kind of loses a taste of it, the big games, but that's what we want to see. We want to see
Those
like
games.
we want to see those teams go against each other more. You know, like
Right.
since 2014-15, Barcelona has played Bayern Munich 6 times.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Over
yeah.
the span of 10 years.
Yeah.
You would want to see those games more. You know what I
Right.
mean? You want to see your Chelsea's going against like how
Juventus or
yeah,
some random
some
team.
random
Man United
teams.
never in the Champions League.
like
You knew the Europa
how
League.
how often do you see like a fixture like Man United Real Madrid? Like
Yeah.
when was the
Right.
last time we seen
I've only seen
You
that
know
once
what I
in my
mean?
lifetime.
That's very true.
you
Once in
know?
my lifetime, I've seen that.
And it gives a chance to the small teams to compete. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
giving them a big opportunity to compete.
They can kind of take it like one game at a time type of
Right.
feel, like a league type of feel, rather than like it's a huge
Yeah.
game you have to perform in these 90 minutes.
But I
Right.
feel like with the old format, sometimes you get to like the latter half of the group stage, and games don't matter for the teams that are already in first, and it's kind of
Right.
boring.
I
It
do
gets
get that. I do get
it's
that.
like maybe it spices it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're like in ninth place, and you're really trying to get into that top 8, so you can get that bye week.
yeah.
And maybe that's where like the disconnect needs to happen. You know, like that connection does need to happen.
It's a moments thing.
Understanding the table and all that stuff, like really buying into the whole idea.
Our love for the Champions League resonates from the moments that it generates.
Right.
The
Right.
massive,
Yeah.
huge talking points, Manolas against
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Yes.
Like these massive moments that just define eras. So I feel like with that new format, like until we get something like that, a little bit of that in the Real
It
Madrid
was kind
Dortmund
of
game.
getting like boring seeing the kind of like seeing the same big teams compete in a way, but
it was
Yeah.
kind of happening. Yeah, like
it
the
was
same
happening.
top
We were seeing
four, top 8.
it was kind of repetitive.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of, okay, so what can you explain to me what happens after?
That's what I was gonna
The
say.
format?
Yeah,
I thought it was
So
after like
league, yeah, what is
yeah.
this?
I thought it was how this it's like. I thought it was top 16 goes through, right?
Kind of.
Top 16 goes through, and
There's 20 teams.
No,
There's like
it's
38 teams
teams.
now.
38
There's an
teams.
extra 2 games
Yeah, it's 38
per.
teams.
What is it called? There's a lot
yeah,
more games.
the way
now.
I was thinking of it is like
38 teams.
top 16 goes in and it turns into a group stage.
Not exactly, but
So it
kind
doesn't
of.
turn to like not a group stage, a knockout stage.
So you have like
round of
all the
16.
teams that are in the Champions League. I think it's 38. I think that's the number.
It's 38, yeah.
You get drawn 5 random home games and 5 random away games.
I
so
know
before,
that. I know
Before
that.
you'd be in a group and you played each team home and away. Now it's like you get a random 5 here
You
and a
got
random
10
5 here.
10
Yeah,
fixtures.
we're talking about going to the
Yeah,
knockout
yeah, yeah.
stage.
Top
Yeah, yeah, so
8,
uh-huh.
top 8 in the league, right? Because it's a league format. It's 1 to 38.
They get a bye week.
Top 8 goes straight into the round of 16 plot,
Okay.
and then
But if you have 8 teams, how are you gonna make the top 16?
and then it's like 9th to like the other 8,
Ninth
and then
to
one more
16.
group. Like if you break it into 4 groups out of that 38, right? The first 8 go straight to the round of 16. The next 8 play each other in a playoff, and the team that wins gets to go and play the team that got the bye.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
but then how?
It's kind of like
how
American
would
sports with playoffs.
Would it? What? So it doesn't matter at that point what you finish, like who you go against. How they gonna
Figure out who they play.
yeah,
Yeah.
how they gonna are they gonna do a draw again?
Yeah, but so the 8 that went through, they skip the bye and they're in the pot. So
Yeah.
each one of the next 16 games, all of
So
them.
it's not by power rankings at all.
No, not necessarily. No. It's not like this person gets a more favorable draw or something like that. But it's like you're in the pot now for the 16, and then the other guys that are left, they play a playoff, and the winner plays one of the teams that got the bye.
Okay.
So you have an advantage because you played one or two less games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit more predictable. You can get
Very.
like you can get like a Real Madrid versus like Man
Now,
City.
randomly, a game even before the round of 16 means way more.
Right.
And you'll see teams being more,
Right.
less pragmatic and really going for it. Like
Right.
going and pushing
That's
for
what I was
wins.
saying.
'Cause you got still, like you would see teams that would be winning at home and they would just sit back, defend, try to soak up the pressure. Kind of got boring in some moments.
Yeah.
You
Real
know?
Madrid are not doing too great. I'm seeing that
In
they're
the
like
Champions
ninth.
League, yeah.
They're in the right now in the whatever you want to call it right
Yeah.
now. It's the
That's
group
that's
standing.
funny you say that because it feels like Madrid is the type of team that benefits from that
Format?
that not playoff like the competition like what it
Yeah.
used to be. You know, because it's like big game, big 90 minutes, and like Madrid are able to just kind of like pounce on that.
Yeah.
You know, but now that it's like a league table format,
Yeah.
it's like the games are not as
I would
flashy,
love to
you
see
know?
this as a downfall for Real Madrid in the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
man.
sure.
They'll
I
just
would
run
love
away
to
and make
see
their own
that.
Super League, is what they'll do.
No way.
Yeah.
But-
Who do you guys see as, I know it's super, super early. Who are your favorites?
In
Champions League this
League?
year. Say it. Come on. I know
You
you're
have- well,
I'm based off of. I'm sorry, G.
Go, go, go.
But I'm saying based off of performances, I would say like I feel like the only team that I'm seeing that can touch the final like comfortably, I feel like Barca is gonna be that
They're
team.
right there. I think they're the best
You
team in the
know?
world right now.
Like I feel like they're back to that combo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be
They-
interesting when they fight.
They
City
really
and stuff.
re-announced themselves.
Yeah.
They
into
did.
the world stage for this week in general, beating Bayern and then beating Madrid.
Right.
It's happened where you guys have been able to get some decent results. Like I think you beat Madrid in the like last
This is a
season
bit confusing.
or the season before that. But like after that, you're not able to beat another big team, right? Like you see it in the
Right.
Champions League.
The Champions League hump has been a big one for you guys.
And right now, like with that week, it's like, no, we're here, we're ready, and we're like the better team. You know,
Right.
You play
against those
Man
big
City
teams.
tomorrow. Who wins? Who
That's
would you
crazy.
put
Barcelona.
would you put it on for Barcelona for them to have it?
Barcelona.
Get the
I
win.
think it would be a hard game. Wouldn't be easy.
Absolutely.
It would
But
be
I would
easy.
definitely back up
You'd bark
Barcelona.
Barca? Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
they're there, man. They have contention in there. You
feel
can't
like
write
they'll-
City
they'll
off.
break off.
Their flow right now is actually insane.
No,
the
they're
only
tapped
thing,
in.
the only thing that might ever become like a downfall to that is like peaking too early,
Right.
you know, into the season. Whereas like you get stale at one point, and then maybe you drop some.
That's what's
points.
amazing about
That's
these
the
La
only
Masia kids
thing.
because
But
you
the
just
thing
added
is, there's
so much depth.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
There's so much depth. I don't
Yeah.
see that happening.
Right.
Like you just see Gavi coming back, Dion coming back.
Oh my God.
We know that. We know that Gavi's not gonna. He's just here to get his form back because you know
Right.
he's coming back from a
Long
big
injury.
injuries. It's gonna take him like at least half a year to get back to form.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have so much depth to play with.
Real
think-
Madrid's another one. You can't write them off.
Of course. I was
Never,
gonna say
never.
another team, Liverpool.
Like I was saying, yeah, Liverpool can be a good. They're great contenders, but they play Real Madrid here soon in November.
That's right. Yeah.
But
So-
we can
so-
we'll
Touch
get
on
some
that.
answers.
So if-
question.
If Barcelona and Liverpool were to play in the Champions League final,
Ooh.
who do you think? Who do you think wins, and who do you think you would support?
Who would you want to win?
Where and against Barca against
Barca versus Liverpool.
Final
That's
Champions
tough. The thing is, I would love to see Van Dijk and Mo Salah win
League.
another
Oh my god.
another
that's so
UCL. You know what I mean?
cringe.
I would love to. I would love to see Trent winning.
Lamine Yamal lifting the Champions League at 17
He
years
has
old.
time, but you know, even though Mo Salah's, but how much would that add to his legacy?
Yeah, I hear it.
Winning 2 Champions Leagues with Liverpool,
I would hate to see it.
Stamp. It was
like he
stamped
would
so much.
easily be the best right winger ever to touch the Premier League,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
easily, yep.
You know what I mean? At 32, winning a
Yep.
Champions League, that's like Messi or Ronaldo status. Let's
Yeah,
be honest.
For real, for real.
So I would like to see Liverpool win, honestly, because of Mo
interesting.
Salah.
Very
That's
interesting,
interesting.
I love Mo Salah, man. He's a hardworking man. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He puts it all in every game. He has, you know what's crazy? A lot of people don't know is Mo Salah has the record for the fastest hat trick in the UCL.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
yeah, I'll back them up. This is you guys are putting me on spot here. 'Cause
Man, it's big
sorry.
weekend for you, bro. You got the Liverpool
this is
game.
like I have a red flags as a human being. One of them is liking multiple teams. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
but
okay,
I
man.
think it's okay.
That's
'cause
like
it's
if
different
somebody
leagues.
sees that, that's like that's a red
Bro,
flag.
It's
I have
different
a
leagues.
second
It's-
team
I
too,
can't
man. When
trust
Man
this
United
person.
piss me off, I'm watching Inter Milan games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Like
Different
let's
leagues
see
is
if
okay.
somebody like that doesn't know me, right, and they meet me,
Yeah.
you know,
I
and they
think
see
that
this
I
guy
think-
has likes 2 teams. Like, I can't trust this person. You know what I mean?
No, it's not that deep. Not that
no,
deep.
no, no.
No, but I'm a big fan of football, so I like any team that works hard. Like one team I had as a favor, like I just kept keeping up with them was that season with Potter's Brighton.
I
They were
love Brighton.
they were amazing.
Yeah.
Brighton's everyone's
They had
favorite team.
Trossard, Matoma on fire, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I would just randomly, I was like, I like this team. I like watching them. So I like whoever is good. You know, I don't.
Brentford.
You know what I mean?
Like
So I don't
Brentford was
hate
kinda that
I don't
team.
hate teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate teams.
Yeah, I know. You do.
I hate some
See,
teams. man.
I don't like being a rival against Man United. So Man United don't like this might make me like what's it called, a cardboard fan or whatever you want to say. I love beating Man United. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? 7-0. That's the big one of the best days
So you can
ever.
come back on that.
I'm just saying, like, that's
Yeah.
so because if Man United beat Liverpool at least I would say 4-0, they would not shut up about it.
You
Right.
know, damn right, bro.
You know what I
Every
mean?
year the fixture list comes out, I'm looking at the Liverpool game first. Both of
Exactly.
them. I'm looking. That's
That's
the
the-
first thing I'm looking for.
Would y'all say after a Classico that's the biggest rivalry in football?
It's definitely up there. Like a context of everything included within it. I mean, obviously you got like the Celtic derbies
gonna
and
say.
stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm talking about big stages.
big. I think the Liverpool one's huge.
Right.
Personally, North London derby's there. I would say, but
Is there
yeah.
maybe like an international clash that can maybe meet up to that?
And Inter,
Yeah,
Spain, Italy's
back
a big
then
one.
it was Argentina, Brazil.
Argentina,
that was
Brazil's
huge.
a big one. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Germany, England is a big one.
Yeah, France and Germany.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
They all
big
have
one.
beef, man. Like there's
Uh,
long, deep history.
Holland and Spain.
Yeah, Holland and England as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holland and Spain. Yeah, yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
big one.
No, but I think it goes like Classico, Liverpool United, and then you get into all the.
El Clasico for the last few years just hasn't had the same
has
taste.
not
I'm
been the
happy
same.
there's a little bit more.
I'm really happy.
Next
with
time around, it's gonna be
Real
even
Madrid
more.
has been just easily walking all over
seriously, though.
Barcelona.
It's I'm happy to see it, man. A world where Barcelona aren't a good team is not good for
Nah.
teams like
That was
Milan,
a
Man
weird-
United,
that
Barca.
was a
I don't.
weird
I
era.
want to always see them doing well.
AC Milan's doing bad in
Except
Serie
Liverpool,
A.
I don't wanna lie.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a crazy week. We're looking forward to another crazy week.
Oh,
A lot of good
yeah.
matches coming up.
Which
Stay
one in
t-
particular, G? What's coming up? What's coming up?
Chelsea versus United.
This might be the one where we hit for him. I'm so deluded.
This is gonna be very exciting. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned. Remember this is a part 2 episode, so make sure you check both of those out. If you're not hitting that subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe and the notification bell. It'll let you know as soon as we post. Social media platforms.
Adam,
the
get into it.
Half Turn Pod on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, etc.